Your local election headquarters with 9 months to go before the first ballots are cast. Rhode Island's race for governor continues to heat up with a new poll and a new candidate. 12 News Politics Editor Ted Nesi joins me now to break it all down. So Ted, let's start with the Democratic primary, which will be next September. This new poll is not good news for Governor Dan McKee.
No, Kim, though that's nothing new because his numbers have been very weak for a long time now. Let's take a look at the findings from the UNH Survey Center. Among likely Rhode Island Democratic primary voters, 29% support former CVS executive Helena Foulkes. 13% support House Speaker Joe Shekarchi, who isn't even a candidate yet, and only 11% support Governor McKee to be elected to another term. But look at that last number there. Even with those three options, 42% of voters are undecided. So Foulkes has to be happy to have a lead, but at only 29%, she has a lot of work to do if she wants to solidify her support. But much bigger question than that is, will Shekarchi run and will McKee stay in? Shekarchi supporters say they fear that if the governor doesn't step aside, the two of them would split the vote and hand victory to Foulkes. But McKee has shown no signs he's ready to retire despite months of bad poll numbers like these. And Shekarchi, in turn, hasn't really been in a rush to decide what to do and make up his mind. We're not expecting him to make a decision until early next year.
And as we said, the primary is next September, so still really a lot of time between now and then.
Tons of time.
So let's turn now to the Republicans.
Okay, so on Monday, we got our first major GOP candidate, Aaron Guckian. He served on the staff of former Governor Don Kucheri, and viewers might recall he was the Republican nominee for lieutenant governor in 2022, but lost to Democrat Sabina Matos. Here's what he said at his kickoff Monday when asked about his views on President Trump.
In regards to President Trump, there's things I agree with, there's things I disagree with, and there's no way that if certain things happen that I won't fight for Rhode Island and I won't call it out. So if it's working, I'll say that's great. If it's not, I'll say it's not working. And that's not really partisanship. That's just honesty, integrity.
And so, Ted, like every Republican in a blue state these days, Guckian is going to have to navigate Trump's support in the GOP against his low approval rating among independents and Democrats.
Yes, I mean, Kim, it's now been 20 years since a Republican won any statewide or federal race in Rhode Island. It was actually Guckian's old boss, Don Kucheri, back in 2006 was the last one. The McKee campaign put out a statement before Guckian even walked on stage yesterday, arguing he wants to bring Trump's agenda to Rhode Island. Guckian told reporters that it was, quote, preposterous. And Republicans argue that with Governor McKee's overall job rating at only 21%, they could have a shot next November if McKee is the Democratic nominee. And then, Kim, the other thing is we don't know yet if any other big-name Republicans, people who could raise the money, get the support, will emerge. The party's 2022 nominee, Ashley Kalis, has been criticizing Guckian, and she's hinting that somebody else may emerge in the wings. So that's going to be an interesting thing to watch. Certainly
interesting and plenty to track over the coming months. You can find that full list of every candidate who's filed to run for governor in our coverage at WPRI.com. 12 News Politics Editor Ted Nesi, thanks for being here.
Good to be here.